Internet fame can be a cruel game. Despite the millions of views, dollars, and loyal fans, some people are their own worst enemy. And when it comes to sabotaging your own career, no one does it quite like the Liver King. In 2021, Brian Johnson burst into internet stardom with his unconventional lifestyle message. He claimed his incredibly ripped body was a result of healthy living, grueling workouts, and a raw meat diet, all washed down with shots of actual blood. If you watch some of the early Liver King's videos, it's hard not to feel inspired. The only problem is, it was all a lie. In December of 2022, leaked emails between the Liver King and his doctor exposed a long history of intentional steroid use, despite his constant straight-faced denial.
There's a lot of subprimals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids.
Is Liver King natty?
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here, these legs?
Have legs?
Do you see how little my legs are?
I was talking to one of your guys, and I was like, yeah, he's on steroids, right? Like, people don't look like that. He's like, no, he's not. I'd heard Rogan say you were on steroids.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Other than the fact that you have a body that you have earned on your own, are you against steroids?
This is what I'll say.
It forced the fitness influencer to come out clean and admit in a video that he had chemical help to achieve his quote-unquote natural physique.
I'm making this video to apologize because I'm embarrassed and ashamed because I lied and I misled a lot of people.
Now, while Liver King's subscriber count has actually gone up since the video confession, the brand damage to his ancestral supplements company might be devastating. Not only is he being sued by multiple parties for misrepresentation, but his reputation is forever tarnished. How do you continue to market a lifestyle people know is a complete lie? But while lawsuits can be expensive, this next fall from grace may just end up in jail time. Andrew Tate might just be the most controversial man on the internet right now, but it wasn't always this way. He actually started out his career as a fairly successful professional kickboxer and mixed martial artist. It was only after his TikTok domination that trouble started to find him. Looking to monetize his special brand of obnoxious chauvinism, he created Hustlers University, a subscription-based self-help program for guys who wanted to escape the matrix and get rich quick.
My amount of money is the amount of money you need to be rich. If you have less money than me, even by a single cent, you're a brokey, a wagey, a peon, a peasant, a nobody. You are poor.
At its peak, Hustlers University had around 127,000 subscribers, all paying $49 a month for tips on how to become the top G. It didn't take long before Andrew Tate's controversial views saw him kicked off of every social media platform in existence. Even Stripe, the company that processed credit card payments for Hustlers University, decided to pull the pin on their service, forcing Tate to shut the platform down completely. Despite all these setbacks, it ended up being a Twitter argument with climate activist Greta Thunberg that put the final nail in his career's coffin. Romanian police would arrest Tate within 24 hours of his video reply on the suspicion he was involved in fraud and human trafficking. His appeals for release were denied, and while incarcerated, police seized his assets, including 15 luxury cars, 14 designer watches, cash, and cryptocurrency worth around $3.9 million. Kanye West. Where do you even start? The eccentric musician who recently changed his name to Ye has spent a lifetime manufacturing controversy, yet somehow rising above it. But Ye's latest escapades have many speculating if the glory days of Yeezy are well and truly over. It all started with his divorce to Kim Kardashian. What should have been a private and amicable separation turned into a very public war of words on social media. This seemed to unhinge Ye, who is increasingly acting out both online and in public.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers, Sway. Kanye. I've been doing this more than you.
From his White Lives Matter t-shirt statement to insinuating that slavery was a choice, Kanye's white supremacist rhetoric was getting out of control. This would culminate in a series of super anti-Semitic tweets in October of 2022, where Kanye not only used hateful slurs, but threatened Jewish people as well. Besides once again being banned from Twitter, every brand that had a partnership with Ye began to race to tear up their contracts. Vogue, CAA, Balenciaga, Gap, and Adidas all ended their arrangements, wiping more than $2 billion from Kanye's net worth in a single day. Honestly, Kanye's such a prolific artist that if he made a comeback, a good portion of his fans would forgive him. But the same can't be said for Lil Pump. Back in 2017, a virtually unknown SoundCloud rapper going by Lil Pump released a song where the title formed 80% of the lyrics. Gucci Gang was an instant viral hit, reaching 6 million views in the first day alone. Today, that swelled to over 1 billion views. Not bad for a mumble rap song with only a handful of words.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Despite his cash-flexing, fast-living persona, Lil Pump, aka Gazzy Garcia, was actually a decent businessman. At just 16 years old, he was able to negotiate a recording contract with Warner Brothers, one that would later be worth $8 million once the rapper turned 18. By 2018, Lil Pump was one of the most talked about rappers in the world, but that explosive debut would soon start to fade as Lil Pump's music and relevancy would slowly drop off. While the over-the-top punk persona was cute in the beginning, Lil Pump found himself having to stir up public feuds or perform publicity stunts to keep his fans entertained. With unimaginative music, waning motivation, and an album launch with zero promotion, it looked like Lil Pump was on the decline. The final nail in the coffin, however, was a collaboration with the Dobre brothers called You Know You Lit.
Hit it if you know you lit. Yeah, I know I'm lit.
This song and music video is so terrible, it hurts, even by Lil Pump standards. And while Lil Pump faded into irrelevance due to apathy and lack of motivation, you could never accuse this next YouTuber of being unenthusiastic. When Morgs, real name Morgan Connor Hudson, first joined YouTube as a starry-eyed 13-year-old in 2014,
hey guys, Morgan here, and today we have a Q&A because we just hit 1K subs.
he never would have predicted the crazy heights his channel would eventually achieve. As his channel grew, the young gamer and vlogger realized that his over-the-top personality and energetic style got more engagement and views, especially amongst children. This was the recipe for viral success, so Morg stuck to the same format for years. By 2019, he was averaging around 100 million views per month, but it wasn't long before the cracks began to show. First was the public feud with Mr. Beast over claims of copied content. Then came a wave of other creators and commentary channels parodying Morgs and using him as a meme punching bag.
No, Morgan! No! No!
But even during this time, Morgs' subscriber and view count continued to rise. By the time Morgs had hit 10 million subscribers in 2020, things had definitely changed. Despite this epic milestone, his views were on a slow decline. Why? Well, Morgs was now 20 years old, definitely not the same 13-year-old when he started. This was a problem for two reasons. Firstly, the over-the-top persona that worked for so long was becoming too tiring to maintain. And secondly, Morgs' subscriber base, who were predominantly children, had now grown up. It was then Morgs decided to post content as his authentic self, a more mature version of what his fans were used to. This would result in the views on Morgs' videos absolutely tanking, dropping to 400,000 per month, down from the peak of 100 million. Despite the plunge in popularity, Morgs says it's worth it to finally be his authentic self. A heavy price to pay to just be yourself. For a while there, rapper DaBaby, real name Jonathan Lindell Kirk, was on top of the world. From being signed by Interscope in 2019 to his Grammy nominations in 2020, he had seemingly fast-tracked his career and was headed for superstardom. With a string of chart-topping hits already in his catalog, the only person that could derail DaBaby was DaBaby himself, and that's what he did. During a performance at the Rolling Loud Festival, DaBaby went on an unhinged rant on stage, calling out people with HIV and making other homophobic comments to a stunned audience. Most people would have read the room and apologized. Not him. He took to Instagram and doubled down on his comments, making the situation even worse. He did eventually apologize via Twitter in his own way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what I do at a live show is for the audience at the live show.
But by this stage, his career was on a downward spiral. It would start with him being cut from festival lineups as other artists and promoters tried to distance themselves from him. Then there would be the poor reception to his new albums. But the final embarrassment seemed to come during DaBaby's world tour, where he had to cancel shows when only 500 of the 14,000 tickets were sold. Fraser Kotry, aka K, began his career creating Call of Duty montages to YouTube back in 2012.
Alright guys, today I've just got a little Black Ops 2 montage for you.
His skills were quickly noticed by all major esports teams before he finally settled on FaZe Clan. Normally, this would be a recipe for success, with FaZe members often blowing up in popularity just by association. And for the most part, this was true for K. His subs and view counts exploded, especially after he began streaming Fortnite content in 2017. However, being in FaZe's massive spotlight meant that viewers suddenly began noticing that K and his brother Jarvis were faking video videos for views and engagement. Despite this fairly obvious staging, Face K's fake video still pulled in millions of views. It seemed like everything was going perfect for K. That is until he got involved with a cryptocurrency scam named Save the Kids. Promoted by K and several other influencers, Save the Kids token was supposed to be a way to both make money and support children's charities overseas. It soon became pretty obvious to everyone involved that the token was yet another pump and dump scheme, even without CoffeeZilla's expose. Not only did they blatantly rip off the logo of an actual charity called Save the Children, but the development team were holding the majority of the tokens prior to launch. As expected, most founders and large whales immediately cashed out, with the token losing 99% of its value within days of launch. K was kicked from FaZe Clan for his involvement in the scam, and for a while, it's safe to say that he was the most criticized YouTuber on the platform. K would eventually apologize after first attempting to blame a former partner, but by that point, the damage had been done. K had started to claw back some credibility over the years, but the same can't be said for Ned Fulmer. For a very long time, the Try Guys were the very definition of wholesome YouTube entertainment. 4 friends, big ideas, and the willingness to try anything and everything at least once was the winning recipe that earned the channel more than 8 million subscribers and over 2 billion views to date. But all of that came to an end for Ned Fulmer
My wife.
when it was revealed that he had been having an affair with one of the producers of the channel. The 3 remaining Try Guys, Eugene, Zach, and Keith, all fronted the camera to let their audience know that Ned had been spotted in public with someone other than his wife. Which is weird, considering how often he mentions her in videos.
My wife. 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 My wife.
As a result, Ned was fired from the channel, and his face was scrubbed from all thumbnails and merchandise. The Try Guys have continued as a trio, leaving their ex-best friend to think about what he's done.